What's up everyone, Gids here for a video on Palworld because I've actually been playing this game almost non-stop for the past, I don't know, 3 days? 3 days already, and today I'm going to be sharing to you guys all the tips and tricks that I have learned for beginners to help you out in your journey setting out for this game. Okay, so yeah, let's go. So yeah, Palworld is basically a survival game wherein you can capture these creatures called pals to help you out with work and help you out in combat as well. So yeah, let's go. Tip number 1. Tip number 1 is going to be about base building, and something that you want to be taking note of when building a base is it's this thing right here, the pal box. Pal box is basically what's going to determine what your base is going to be, and for me I placed it down here, and you can see here there's a huge open space for this base right here. And why do you need that? Why do you want that? You usually want to get a huge open space and flat lands for your base because a lot of the structures that you will be building requires to be on a flat land. So you're going to have a lot of trouble, especially during my first playthrough, with space because there's not a lot of space when I first built my base. And yeah, you can see that it's going to be really hard to build up structures like that. Another thing to take note of when trying to build a base is you want to have a node for ores. Right now, I don't have it here, but usually you want the one that spawns right into your base because it respawns after a certain time anyway. So for this base, actually, I can show you in the map. This is our base right here. You can actually see the coordinates here on the lower left side of the map. So yeah, this is my base right here at 88 minus 432, and you can see it's a huge open field. There's also a spot here and another spot here. So I think those 3 places are very good beginner bases. Like these 3 spots, and also very close to the Rain Syndicate Tower and close to the Chillet right here, which you can use later on for some XP farming stuff. And also there's a close, skill tree location up here. But anyways, yeah, this is my base location, and it's a very good spot because again, for the ore location and the flat space. Another thing right here is that I've built stairs going up to this place because we actually have another ore node over here, but looks like I just farmed it as well, but it should spawn right over there. Okay, so those are the things that you want to take note of when building a base, and hopefully you find a good one that's pretty fun for you. Alright, the next step is for the Vixy Farm for your spheres. Okay, so as you reach level 5, you will be able to build a ranch. And this thing is pretty important for you to get because this is where you can put down these creatures, these pals called Vixies. And as soon as you pick them up and put them into... Oh, they're actually not assigned to it, but as soon as you pick them up and assign them to graze onto the ranch, they actually drop you so many resources such as arrows, gold, and most importantly, pal spheres. So you can look here, I have 63 pal spheres and none of them are crafted by me. I just usually AFK, and when I come back to the base, these guys, these Vixies right here, are going to drop me either arrows, gold, and pal spheres. So if you look at their description over here, you can see here this is their partner skill. So sometimes digs up items from the ground when assigned to ranch. So yeah, just assign them to the ranch and you'll be getting tons and tons of pal spheres, especially for the early game. This is so good because you don't have to craft them at all, and you'll be having so many of them which you will be using later on to level. Okay, so from what I've done, usually I have 4 Vixies on my base. So yeah, I usually just assign 4 to that ranch over there and should be good to go while you're exploring. And then once you come back, you just come back once you run out of pal spheres, and then you come back, you'll get like another 50 to 60 extra pal spheres for your next adventure, right? So that's usually what the cycle is like. All right. So pals are interesting in this game because almost every one of them will have a partner skill over here that will actually be beneficial in either combat or in your base. Okay, so like for example, we have Cativa over here. No, let's not use Cativa. Let's just use Chikipi here. So Chikipi here, partner skill lays eggs. So when you have your pal in your base, they're actually going to lay egg if you have a ranch. So it says here when assigned to ranch. So this is the same thing as the trick that I showed you earlier with the Vixy, right? With the Vixy, you want them to be assigned to a ranch for them to be digging up treasures. And this is also true with other pals over here, like this guy over here, the Lifmunk, with a partner skill that actually is for a combat-based wherein he's gonna hold a submachine gun and just burst down enemies. So this is the Lifmunk in action. Actually, pretty funny. Nice, finally. So next up is ancient technology points. So where are you supposed to be getting these things? So these things are used to upgrade the things or technologies that you have here on ancient technology tab right here, like your grappling gun, your small feed bag, and other stuff like Pal Essence Condenser. So you get this one by defeating bosses around the world. So first time defeating these monsters right here that are in the map actually. So you can see them in the map. So these guys give 1 ancient technology points for the first time that you defeat them. So like this one, it gives me 1. And for the towers, it actually gives you 5. So this is the place where you can get them. So yeah. Next up is going to be on dungeons. So dungeons are things that you can actually find in the world. These are going to look like caves around the world and you can enter them. And there's actually a trick on this one, especially in the lower level places. If you're trying to look for boss type monsters for specific monsters that you want in your team. So what you can do is, if you found the final dungeon where the boss is going to spawn, you can actually move back and forth from this room where you are in now to the entrance and then go back into the boss entrance, and they are actually going to despawn and going to spawn a new pal for you to actually defeat. Or if you don't want it, then try to despawn them again and try to look for another pal that you want to. So you can do this infinite number of times until you find the actual pal that you want to get. So another neat trick right there. By the way, at nighttime, these guys right here, Lifmunk Effigies, are going to be shining in the world. So it's a good time for you to pick them up. Like over that one, you can see it's shining over there. So let's go. And what you do with those guys is you go to this guy, to your statue, and you offer them as many effigies as you can to increase your capture power. So a pretty good way to increase your capture power here, but it goes up by quite a lot. The first one like requires 2, 4, and then goes up so fast. So right now I'm at level 4 and I need 15 to be able to get it to level 5. Okay, your next tip is for leveling. So as you all already know, killing mobs does not actually provide you with a lot of XP like what I just did right there. I accidentally killed a Tansy. So the main way to actually level your abilities or level your characters and pals in this game is to actually capture a lot. So this comes in handy with a trick that we have with Vixy. So as you can see here, 4 out of 10. So it says 4 out of 10. Basically, what this means is that you can capture pals up to 10 times and you get bonus XP for capturing them for each of those times. So this is like one of the main ways to level up in this game. So if you have not maxed out a certain pal just yet, then you should be farming them, right? You should be farming them 10 times, and this one scales with your level as well. So this one, wait, that's my first capture of Lamball? Oh my god, I haven't captured the Lamball. Anyways, yeah, so you just capture them as many times as you can and get that XP bonus, right? And there you go. It's actually giving me 250 XP for each of that. Right, nice. There you go. That gives me another 200 XP for free. And some ancient civilization part. Okay, there's also another exploit with the boss battle here on the Tower of Rain Syndicate. So this is the first boss tower that you will be encountering in the game. And this is possible with you capturing Chillet or any other ranged dragon ground monster. Or if you have ground moves on your Chillet, that would be another good way to do this one. And one way to try to do this is to go up to this place here in the map that I have marked with the star coordinates 200 minus 448, and try to see if you can get any skill fruits that gives you any ground type moves, because any ground type moves is actually going to be really good against this boss right here. Because as you can see here, in terms of elements, ground is good against electric and the boss is electric. So yeah, let's try to do it here. So this is the exploit basically. You're going to gain so much XP from defeating this first boss right here, and you're not really supposed to be defeating him this early on in the game. Like you can see his HP is 30k, and what you do is you just try to hide from him from one of the pillars over here, and then you summon your Chillet from like a location over there, and you just let him hit the guy. Okay, I don't think I can do this. My guy's starving. I don't have food for him. I think we failed this run. Oh no. He's gonna die. Yeah, he's gonna die. So let's substitute Fox Spark into this one. I mean, Fox Spark can also work. He's okay. He has a sand move that also hits pretty hard. Feels pretty bad though that Chillet died. Oh my god. Actually, I could have just used Fox Spark from the beginning, no? He's a pretty strong one. Yeah, this guy's just cycling through all his abilities. Pretty good. And he's getting hungry as well. But there you go. As you can see on the top left screen, that's around 3000 XP for each and every one of us. So that's huge. Huge. Right? So you can come back to this one again later on. Right? So you can easily just come back and farm this one. So as soon as your monsters are stronger and as soon as you've stocked up on food, then this should be no problem. That's like 3k XP right now, and it actually scales up later on in the game. So yeah, that's a pretty good XP exploit. So as you level up, you'll be getting stat points, and these are the recommended stat points that you want to actually be on your account. So usually we prioritize HP, weight, and then stamina. That's like the distribution over here. But main emphasis on HP, because attack only, when you try to upgrade your attack, it only gives you +2, while if you upgrade your HP, it's like +100. If you try to upgrade stamina, that's +10, and if you try to upgrade weight, it's +50. So yeah, these three stats, well, first stat is going to be HP because survivability while you're out in the wild, while some pals out there can actually one-shot you. This is going to save you while you're trying to hunt for bosses or you're trying to hunt for special pals out there. This survivability is going to guarantee you so much more chances in trying to capture them. Okay, so I recommend going for HP first. Next up is weight. Well, this is more for base management because ores are actually pretty heavy, stones and also the wood are going to be very heavy. once you start actually farming for them, especially for ores, because you're going to be needing so much ores later on in the game. And then stamina, of course, in general, you need stamina to be sprinting, jumping, gliding, and doing all those stuff. So upgrading stamina later on is also pretty good. Okay, so those are the main things that you want to be spending your points on. Don't spend it on work speed because the workers are your pals, not you. And then attack, again, the ones that will be doing most of the damage later on in the game is going to be your pals anyway. So you don't want to be spending it on attack. Okay, so that's your stat distribution. Okay, so there's actually a trick for moving around even if you are over encumbered. Like for example, right now I have like 2,000 weight on me. So what you can do is equip your grappling hook, grappling gun. So grappling gun is something that you unlock with ancient technology right here, ancient technology points. So grappling gun right here. Once you are able to craft it, you will be able to actually move even while you're over encumbered, and this can save you in some situations when trying to actually move items or heavy items into chests like this one. So yeah, pretty easy way to actually do it. Even if you can't move, you can still actually move. So that's how you can move while being over encumbered. Okay, so this game has some pretty cool mounts once you've reached some of the later stages of the game. Like the Spyron Knock right here, one of my favorites, my fastest land mounts at the moment. Also, we have the Ragnarok right here, which is one of the fastest flying mounts that you can get. But again, these are only usually available for you at level 30 plus in the level 30 area. So it's pretty hard to actually get them, or it's actually pretty hard to get them early on. So what mounts do you use in the early game? So I'll give you some options right now. One of the good early mounts for early game is actually this one, the Dire Howl. It's a pretty good mount, very solid and also pretty fast. So I actually like using him as well. I actually used him a lot when he came up. And the thing is, there's actually quite an abundance of him in around like this area right here, or around this yellow area right here as well. So it's pretty easy to get him, and usually you get him at around level 10. So yeah, and the technology for it to create the saddle is like at around level 9. So this is one of the good early mounts that you can easily get. Another good early game mount that you can get is this guy, Ectirdir. I don't know how to say his name, but this guy, Ectirdir, right here. But this guy requires you to be around level 12 to be able to research the technology for his saddle, but it is also pretty fast and also pretty cool looking. So it's a huge deer, and usually you can see him in the starting area around this place right here. So there's a lot of him right here around this place right here as well. So yeah, pretty simple, pretty fast, and a very good mount to actually get for your early game. Okay, the third early game mount that you can get is this guy right here, Nightwing. So this is going to be your first, I think this is the first flying mount that you will be able to get. And it's pretty early as well for the technology for you to be able to get this. And this is, yeah, it's level 15. So one of the best early game mounts that you can get to be able to traverse this world, because as you can see, the world is huge, man. Look at this. I've only explored like not everything yet. I haven't explored most of the sand areas yet, ice areas up there, and some of the fire area right here. So this world is huge, and you really need to have a good mount to be able to traverse the whole world of this game. So yeah. So again, Nighthawk, you'll be able to get one pretty early on around this area. In the starting area, there's actually some of them that are flying around. A way for you to easily capture them is to get the Fox Spark. Yeah, this thing. At level 6, the Fox Spark harness, this is going to be your first ranged weapon, wherein you use the Fox Spark as a flamethrower to actually catch the Nightwing. So there you go. So Nightwing, again, a very good mount for early game for traversing this game. So there, that's the mount. Okay, so that's pretty much it for me for now in this video. So this is mostly for beginners for now, and probably more advanced stuff later on, especially for breeding and looking for the coolest pals ever in the game. That will come in later on, but for now, that's it. Leave a like on the video if it's helpful. Leave a comment down below for any other tips and tricks that can actually help out other players out there. And see you again next time. Bye-bye.